Oh, hi kids! My name is Teacher Bry, and welcome to our virtual classroom. Well, as you can see, I'm now here at the beach. But my gosh, it's so hot. I have to drink my water every 10 minutes to keep me hydrated. But wait, did you ever think where our drinking water come from? And can I drink that water at the beach right there? For today's lesson, we will find out how we can. Oh my gosh! Wait, it's starting to rain! Where did rain come from? Why did it suddenly rain? Is it from my bottled water? Is it from the water at the beach? Oh god, wait, I have to get inside. So, we will read a story about water cycle and where rain comes from. So we will know where rain comes from, where the water from the beach come from, and where does our drinking water come from. I have to go now. See you in class. Thank God I'm back in the classroom. If not, I would have been very wet. How are you? Are you ready to listen? Let's go then. All set? You bet. So before we go to the water cycle, let's have a very quick game. I'm sure it's very easy for you. Tell me, what can you see on your screen? Right, so we have solid, liquid, and gas. The game is very simple. Give me examples of things that are solid, and we will see if your example is the same with mine. Ready? I'll give you 10 seconds to type your answers in the chat box. Ready? Go! So let's see if your examples are the same with mine. I have here table. Table. You're right. House. Did anybody write house? Good job. Car. Anyone? That's a good guess. Okay. Now, let's go to liquid. Give me examples of things that are in liquid form. 10 seconds. Go. Let's see if your examples are the same with mine. I have milk. Did anybody write milk? Good guess. Rain. Oh my gosh, how could you forget rain? Soft drinks, Coca-Cola, soda. You got it right. Honey. Did anybody write honey? Good guess. Okay, now finally, let's go to gas. I think I have 3 examples for gas. Now let's see if your guess is as good as mine. Go! 10 seconds. check your answers, or let's check my answers with your answer. Oxygen. Did anybody write oxygen? If you put 0 or O2, then that's acceptable, correct. CO2 or carbon dioxide, did anybody write that? Good guess. And, oh my god, who did that? Fart, did anybody write fart? That is an example of oxygen also. Okay, so very good that you remember the different examples for solid, liquid, and gas, because we're gonna need that for our lesson today, which is water cycle. So we have these important words. Let's read them. Number 1, cycle. Cycle. Number 2, evaporation. Evaporation. Number 3, water vapor. Water vapor. 4, alrighty, before we go to our reading, let's take a look at these important words because they will be used in the reading later. Let's read them. Number 1, cycle. Cycle. 2, evaporation. Evaporation. 3, water vapor. Water vapor. 4, condensation. Condensation. 5, precipitation. Precipitation. 6, collection. Collection. Very good. Now, which of these words do you know and do you understand? Type them in. What words do you know or do you understand? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, somebody put there they know evaporation, collection, okay. Water vapor, okay, good. Cycle, okay. If you know everything, then just put everything. Write everything that you know. Type it in, type it in. Let us see, let us see. What's that? Okay, condensation. Oh, this one. He knows everything. Oh, 6. Good, good. If you don't know some of the words, no problem, because as we go along in the story, I will teach you how to use context clues for you to understand the meaning of these words. Are you ready? Are you excited? But before that, grab your water first and let's take a sip before we start our lesson with water cycle. So here are the words that we just read. Precipitation is here. So what could precipitation mean? Collection is here. Evaporation is here. Condensation is here. Okay? So this is already actually the water cycle. Water because, well, it's water, and cycle, cycle, just like your bicycle. We'll see that later. Here goes the reading. Let's start. The water cycle. We get fresh water through the water cycle. What word can you see here in color blue? Right, cycle. So if you don't understand the meaning of cycle, just continue reading because it actually gives you the meaning here in this paragraph. Look at this. Over and over again, water moves from the oceans and rivers to the clouds. Then it falls on the land as rain or snow and moves back into the ocean and rivers. Then the cycle begins again. So cycle means over and over again, water moves from the ocean and rivers to the clouds and falls back again to the river. So just like the bicycle, cycle means to go round and round and round. So, this is one trick, tip, or idea on how to understand the words in the context or the words in the story. Let's go to the next. The water cycle has 4 parts. The first part is evaporation. What is the word in red? Right, evaporation. But what is evaporation? The meaning is right here. When water is hot, it evaporates. This means it changes from a liquid into gas called water vapor. So, what is evaporation? When a liquid changes to gas, or when water becomes water vapor, then that is evaporation. Very good. Let's move on to the next. The next part of the water cycle is condensation. Can you read that for me? Condensation, right. What is the meaning of condensation? Look at this. It is here in the paragraph. When water vapor, remember water vapor, gets cold, it turns into small drops of water. These become clouds. So, condensation means water vapor gets cold and turns to small drops of water, or from gas to liquid. From water vapor to liquid, then it becomes clouds. Exciting. Next. What is the word in red? Right, precipitation. What is precipitation? Can you make a guess what is precipitation by reading the context here? The answer is just right here in the paragraph. Come on. You got it? Let me tell you. Precipitation just means rain and snow. So when the clouds become very heavy, they cause the next part of the water cycle, and that is precipitation. Rain and snow are 2 kinds of precipitation. So precipitation is actually liquid or solid, or liquid falling down from the sky, and it can reach the ground as liquid, or sometimes it can reach the ground as solid. Example of liquid falling from the sky is rain. And examples of those that turn into solid because the atmosphere is very cold, right? So from the cloud, it's water, it's liquid. Then when it reaches the very cold atmosphere, it freezes. And it could either become sleet.
Sleet is similar to snow. It looks like snow, but it feels a little more wet on your skin. When snowflakes fall through air that is above freezing temperature on their journey to the ground, some of them start to melt and begin to turn into raindrops. Since sleet is partially melted snow, when it hits the ground, it doesn't stick like snow and instead just melts away. This means you can't build snowmen out of sleet. Sleet can get slushy and be slippery to walk on, so it's best to wear welly boots on your feet.
Hail. Or snow. So all of this are precipitation. And finally, the final part of the cycle is collection. Now, look for the meaning of collection here in the paragraph. You got it right. When it goes into earth and into rivers, lakes, and oceans. So the final part of the cycle is collection. Water from precipitation or from rain, snow, or sleet goes into the earth and into rivers, lakes, and ocean. And people use this water for drinking too. So you now know the answer on where we can drink, where we can get our drinking water. That's from the rain when they get collected into rivers, lakes, and oceans, or when they sit through the earth. And when they go underground, then they become filtered and clean. And we get it again, and then we filter them and clean them. So, do we get our water from the beach or from the sea? No, we don't. Why not? Right, it's very salty. Kema. So, again, collection. From rain, hail, and snow, it falls to the earth and collects. That's why it's called collection, because they collect into oceans, lakes, and rivers. So just imagine if it will not rain for 5 years. So our oceans, not really oceans, but our lakes, rivers, and ponds will become dry. So again, here's a review of our water cycle. Let's start. We can start anywhere because it's a cycle anyway. But for me, let me start with precipitation. So there's rain or precipitation. Then there's collection. It will go to rivers and lakes. And then because of the sun's heat, water will evaporate and change to water vapor. And then condensation will make water vapor into clouds. If the clouds become very heavy, they will fall back again as rain, or known as precipitation. And if it is very cold in your region, then those rain can turn into sleet or snow. Isn't that amazing? Now let's answer some questions. What is water cycle? Anybody? Raise your hand. Go ahead, answer it. Very good. That's the cycle of water, or the movement of water around the earth. Good. Question number 2. Which part of the water cycle has water vapor? Which part of the water cycle has water vapor? Exactly, condensation. That's where water vapor is turned into liquid. Okay, and also evaporation, from liquid to gas. Number 3, what are 2 kinds of precipitation? Actually, I gave you 4. Just give me 2. Go, type it in. Right. You can have sleet, hail, snow, or rain. Okay, this one, you can find this in your book and you can answer this. Just put the words in the right blank. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go!
2,000 years later.
So, 2 minutes is over. Number 1 is evaporation. And number 2, condensation. Number 3, precipitation. Number 4, collection. Good job. And finally, before we go, does it rain a lot where you live? Does it ever snow? Never. It never snowed here in Chiang Mai. Have you ever tasted ocean water? Yeah? How did it taste? Salty? Was it salty? Come on! Very salty. And is there a river near your home? I think there's a river near my home, like 2 kilometers. Yeah, 2 kilometers from my home is Kelnawarat River. How about you? If there's no river, then what other bodies of water are there? Is there a lake? A pond? An ocean? Definitely not, because we are very far from the sea. Good job for today, and I hope you will remember everything that you learned here when we go back to the classroom and discuss the water cycle. And we hope you can explain the water cycle in English in your science class or with your friend. So again, where can we get our drinking water? And why do our clothes dry so fast when we hang them outside? And why does it rain? Very nice, very nice. This has been Teacher Bry. I'm gonna see you again in our next class. Take care, stay safe. Bye!